everybody, it's me Megs, and today I'm going to show you guys exactly how I get my super bomb perfect eyebrows. To get my eyebrows perfect like this, I've been using my gleam mirror from Vanity Planet, and I absolutely love this thing. I love the magnifying side. It does have two sides, a regular side and a magnifying side, and it does have this touch sensor, and you can adjust the lighting to your liking, and this allows me to get my eyebrows and my makeup overall super duper perfect, and I love it. I do have a coupon code to get 50% off, and that is down in the description below, so check out the link if you want to get one for yourself. And to start off with, I'm going to turn my gleam mirror on, of course, because that's the most important thing. I need to get my face ready. So I did wash and moisturize my face, and now I'm kind of brushing my brows with a spoolie. And I'm going to take my Anastasia Beverly Hills tweezers. I cannot live without these. These are my absolute favorite. So I'm going to get my wild brows together. So I'm pulling my skin a little bit just so I can start to tweeze. I've been tweezing my brows since I was 14, so this doesn't bother me, the little plucking sensation. I actually like tweezing my brows because, it allows me to get, more control over the shape I want. And plus, I don't really have thick eyebrows to begin with to get waxing, so I just prefer tweezing. And I really love this mirror because I'm able to see every little hair and every little, imperfection that I want to perfect with this gleam mirror. So you can see one side is done, and I'm just going to tweeze the other side. My brows are kind of easy to tweeze because they already kind of have a shape because I don't have thick brows. So I just tend to tweeze away the wispy hairs that don't really have a place. So that's what I'm doing. And I just take my time doing this. And now I'm just brushing my brows to make sure they're as even as possible. They don't have to be the same. They don't have to be twins, but they can be cousins. So now I'm brushing the hairs downward. And I'm going to start to groom the top half of my brow. And I'm just using a little razor thing that I got from the dollar store. And this just allows for those little stray hairs to go away, because I like my top half of my brows super neat. But don't get too crazy with this. You don't want to shave off your whole eyebrow. You don't want to do that, okay? Just lightly, do that part. Don't go crazy. So I'm just going to brush my brows up again. Now I'm going to tame the hairs. So I take my Anastasia Beverly Hills brow scissors, and I'm actually using the Anastasia spoolie as well. I love my brow scissors, and I just trim the hairs because when I'm filling in my eyebrows, it just makes everything even more neat. So I just lightly trim away and brush to make sure everything falls into place. And I'm going to do the same thing with the other side. Just brush the hair up and then just trim off any kind of wispy hairs that I see, because I just want it to be a little more neat. So that is pretty much done. Now I brush my hairs downward, and I just trim my hairs that way too. So any way I brush my eyebrows will pretty much stay intact and stay in place. They won't be wild and crazy all over the place. Ooh, that rhymed. Ooh, I got bars. So now I'm just brushing my eyebrows to make sure they're how I like them. And I did do my foundation, so I do have my foundation routine up right now for you to check out. So I always do my foundation, contour and highlight, and then I go back in with my brows while I'm baking. So I just brush my brows again to prepare to fill them in. And I'm using my Anastasia Beverly Hills brow palettes. And I absolutely love this brow powder. This is ebony, and I'm going to use the lighter side because I don't want my brows too dark. I don't really like dark heavy brows. That's just my preference, but you can use any color of your choice. But this one is kind of like a brown, powder because my eyebrows aren't really black. So I like using this because it's softer. So I'm using an angled brush to apply this to my brows, and I tend to start at the top because I like to kind of overdraw my brows in a way. I like to have a really nice shaped brow. So I start at the top and fill that in. I basically find the areas that I want to create more shape. And I really like an arched look. So that's why I kind of overextended above my brow. And then I take my pencil, or not my pencil, my brush, and sweep it down towards my nose. This also brings my face together like a frame. And I just fill in my tail too. I'm just using light strokes to do this. And as you can see, it's starting to come together how I like them. And I start on the other side. On this side, I started with my tail because I saw where I could fill in and kind of create that shape there. It's kind of like connecting the dots in a way. I've been filling in my eyebrows since I was, 16? So this is kind of like how I always like them. It took some fails, but I'm finally like where I need to be. So again, I'm filling in the inner part of my brow, and again, I did not apply more product when I'm doing the inner parts of my brow because I don't want the inner part to be really boxy, and you know, that's just not really cute in my opinion. But if that's your look, you know, okay, that's fine. But for me, I like mine to have somewhat of a gradient look. So that's pretty much filled in. So now I'm going to go ahead and blend and brush everything together. I find that I like blending and brushing a lot when it comes to my brows because I want them to look as natural as possible. So I tend to just do that before I do my concealer. And I'm using MAC's Studio Finish Concealer in NC45 today. I go through NC45 or NW40 sometimes, depending on what I want to do. And I like NC45 because it creates a really nice base for my highlight when I do my eyeshadow. So I tend to start at the tail section with my concealer using a small concealer brush and just take my time to create that arch. So I start at the tail and then work my way forward. And I start on the other side, starting kind of at the arch tail. And just take your time. You really don't want to mess this part up because I feel like the arch is the most important part of the brow because it just sets everything up for your eyeshadow and things like that. So that's pretty much done. And I do apply quite a bit because, again, like I said, this is my base for my eyeshadow highlight. I like to use this color because it's really nice and warm. And that's how I get like that highlight color on my brows when my makeup is done as far as eyeshadow. So I'm using a beauty blender now and I'm just gonna blend everything away, but not too much because this is my base for my eyeshadow for my brows. If that makes any sense. Does that make any sense? So now I'm gonna brush the inner part of my brows again because we're going to clean up the top half, and I'm using my Makeup Forever foundation to do that, just a small dot. And I'm actually going to use a different concealer brush to clean up the top half. You don't need a whole bunch, but just something to clean everything up. And I'm just going to gently take this across the top half. So that one's done, and I'm gonna move on to the other side. And that's pretty much it. Pretty much done. I really like my brows nice and full. And now I'm going to take the remainder of the product that's on the brush, and I'm just going to kind of blend out the inner parts because I don't want them to be boxy. No, that's not cute. So then I'm going back with the brush again and just making sure the hairs are all in place like I like them. Like so. And they're nice and light. I don't like heavy brows. So now I'm going to put my Anastasia Beverly Hills clear brow gel to make sure my eyebrow hairs stay in place, girl, like this. Make sure they're perfect, and this gel really works. I love it. So that's pretty much it. That's my brows, you guys. If you guys do have any questions, feel free to ask me, and a coupon code for the Gleam Mirror is in the description below. And as always, I'll see you guys next time.